What's going on, Internet? Welcome back to the URL versus IRL podcast. I'm your host, Bree Lynch. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. I'm super happy to have you here. And I'm going to tell you what, today's episode is going to be a little bit silly goofy, okay? Because I feel like we need a little bit of that right now. Quite honestly, I feel like the last couple of episodes that we did, we had a lot going on. Like, we were in California. We did a bunch of interviews in California, came back to New Jersey, immediately jumped into my dad's 2-part interview, did a solo episode where I almost cried. And I feel like right now we need a little bit of a lighthearted episode. So I'm very excited for the episode that is coming up today because I brought a really good friend of mine along onto the podcast. And I have a little bit of a secret that we're about to spill and share with you. So let's roll the intro music and then we'll get started. URL versus IRL. Hosted by Bree Lynch. Casey, welcome back to the podcast.
What's up? I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you back here.
Should we spill the tea?
I feel like we should spill the tea right off the bat. Don't even make them wait.
Send it.
You guys, we have been talking about having Casey co-host the podcast with me, which I'm so fucking excited about.
Cues, cheers.
I know, little cheers. We need like little snaps. Honestly, I felt like the podcast audience absolutely fucking loved having you when you came on for the social work episode, which we talked about doing a part 2 for. Right. We just haven't gotten around to it. It's fine. Josh wants to participate that one and he's like a little busy today, but I'm super excited to have you here because I feel like we come from 2 totally different worlds and upbringings and even points on the internet that it's going to be a good back and forth. We just have opposite perspectives in a sense, even though we get along as fucking well as we do.
I'm just stoked to think that you give a that people give a fuck about what I have to say.
They do.
Me. I mean,
dude, you were our first highest performing episode.
I'm honored.
Yeah. I was
holy fuck, that makes my day.
I'm glad. Well, I'm excited to have you back.
I remember it was even last week, and that episode's been out for how long now? Since August?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had someone that I went to college with.
Did they reach out to you?
She reached out to me, and I swiped up on her Instagram story, and I was like, because she just announced that she was pregnant, and I was like, hey, oh my God, congratulations, you're going to be a great mom. She's like, hey, by the way, I just recently listened to your podcast episode. I want you to know, how fucking cool that was. That was amazing. I had no clue that that's what you did.
Shut the fuck up.
Every time I hear that, I'm like, wow, people actually listen to what I have to say.
Yeah, girl.
That's
and they
crazy.
Fucking loved you. They fucking loved you.
So that's why I'm really excited to be on the co-host journey with you.
Dude, I'm so excited. Especially we've already started texting ideas back and forth. It's going to be so good. For those of you guys that don't know what episode we're referring to, we're referring to episode number 10. It was called Social Workers Aren't Baby Snatchers. I listened to that episode at least 4 times.
I listened to it 4 or 5 times.
And I was like, this is so fucking good. Even before it came out, I was like, I have listened to this at least 4 times and it goes by so fucking fast.
It was a great combo.
It was a long one too. I think it was almost 2 hours.
2 hours at least.
And I was like, fuck, is this going to be too long for people? But it wasn't. I don't think it was enough.
Yeah,
so.
I was really happy with that how that turned out. I think we've got a lot that we're going to cook up too.
I think so too.
I think we have a lot of cool people that we can pick to talk to. I think that's cool because you come from a world where you have your connections of people that you can interview and who I know in the world is also so different, different walks of life.
I need to flex for a second, you guys. One of the most recent episodes that we had, you guys know Ice-T fucking listened to that shit. I could not believe that shit. Oh my God.
Tutuola.
Literally.
Come on.
Dude, I could not believe it. I was just like, what the fuck? I know that he and my dad have known each other for years. Since my dad's first job he ever worked on is when he met him. And he told that whole story in the episode. But just seeing him even the Instagram reels that we were putting out, I was like,
that's unreal.
I was like, that's fucking weird. And then he liked the next one. And I was like, that's fucking weird. And then he reposted one of them, and I was like,
he reposted one? You didn't tell me that. No fucking way.
Yes. I was like, holy shit.
I
would
have had to slide in his DMs and be like, Mr. T.
Mr. T. That's why.
Can you come on the podcast?
That's why we need you as a co-host.
I've got questions about Dick Wolf and his production of SVU. I do, honestly.
Oh, shit.
Do you know these laws, actually?
Oh my God.
Because in my eyes, I think Ice-T, and your dad thinks Ice-T, and he thinks this badass rapper.
Yes.
I didn't know Ice-T was a rapper until after I got into SVU.
What?
ass backwards. I know. Like, I literally thought, like, this is just, like, one of my favorite characters on
Shut
TV.
the
Like,
fuck up.
I did not know it was deep like that. And he is one of my favorite. I follow him on Instagram. Like,
Shut the fuck up.
that's my
I love that.
motherfucker. Like, he's cool.
Oh, that's so sick. Well, maybe one day we'll get him on the podcast if we're lucky.
Please.
I know. Please come on the podcast, Mr. T, please. But today, what we're talking about is the internet. You said you follow him on Instagram,
Yes,
so that's
I
what
do
reminded
follow
me of
him.
that. We're talking about the shit that we hate on the internet, you guys.
Let's get into
That's what we're
it.
talking about today. I'm super excited. Actually, I want you to start first because I know you have a fucking list. I saw that shit on your phone. I'm so ready for it.
I feel like the last week of people's performances on the internet have prepared me for this moment.
Yes. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Oh my god, the internet's been a shitstorm.
It has
It's been
been.
a shitstorm, but I can't stop watching.
It's always been a shitstorm. It's like a dumpster fire, but you need popcorn.
like, I'm afraid to check in, like, to what the amount of time I've been spending on social media has been over the past, like, month.
Yeah.
Because I know I've been locked in.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The doom scrolling's at an all-time high, but my observation, God, there's so much shit that annoys me about the internet.
What's
like,
your first-
just little shit.
Bring
like,
a silly one up.
silly one. People putting stories, like back-to-back-to-back stories on their Instagram or Snapchat of concerts.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody watching that shit.
I ain't watching that shit. Your hands all shaky. I can hear you screaming and singing out of tune in the background. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not watching that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I follow this one page on Instagram. It's called Billie Eilish Tours, I'm pretty sure. And I actually do watch those because I'm interested in seeing like the other performances that she's doing. And that's the only time that I've ever done that. But like generally speaking, if my friend goes to a concert, I'm swiping the fuck out.
I'm swiping. I'm not even going to see what you posted after.
No.
Like, but I also think like when I'm at a concert, I'm so conscious of like, okay, I'm going to take a video of maybe my favorite song that they play out of this set.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put my phone away because I want to be here for this concert.
Yes,
like,
I agree.
When we went to Green Day, like I felt like I was so intentional about like, all right, I'm going to record a video on this song because I want to get pictures of the sets and videos of the sets. But like, I don't like looking out into a crowd
and all you see is phones.
And all you see is phones.
No,
or
it's
like
fucking
me
crazy.
who's fucking short.
Yep.
And I'm standing behind people half the time.
And
like
you can't fucking see anything.
I can watch the concert through your camera screen.
That's
that
what
you're
I do
recording
because
in
I
front of
can't
me.
see.
Yeah. I'm
Literally.
like, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when I go and look back on the videos that I take at concerts, I'm like, this is not even post worthy.
Also,
like, this
I
looks
would
like dog
never
shit.
fucking watch those videos again.
No,
like they
ever.
just sit in my camera roll for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, for sure. Every time, if you post a concert videos on your story, I'm not watching them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty annoying to me.
I agree. I think I have a pretty big one that's like going to probably be the theme of all of my hate shit on the internet. I hate when people have to yuck someone else's yum. That shit pisses me off. So like when somebody else has to shit on or talk shit on something that somebody else enjoys.
Okay.
Like why the fuck are you doing that?
There's a lot of that going on right now.
There is.
I see a lot of that right now about people wanting to put their Christmas tree up too early.
Bitch, my fucking Christmas tree is up.
Come on, let's get holly and jolly.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, and it's like, oh, well, that neighbor has their Christmas lights up. Or like they have their tree up. It's not even Thanksgiving.
Yeah, bitch. Well, I want the pretty little tree during Thanksgiving. And also, we do name draw on Thanksgiving for Secret Santa. So what the fuck now, bitch? Stand in front of my Christmas tree and do that shit then. But also, like, what is it fucking bothering you? Like, why do you have to have the need to speak about it on the internet?
Why does anyone feel like they have the need to say anything on anyone else's post?
I don't fucking understand it.
I get it. Like, if you're publishing something on the internet, say, like, I'm posting my thoughts about politics or something that's going on in my community. If I'm reposting something or I'm sharing something, in a sense, I guess I'm opening myself up for open forum.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm publishing that on something where other people can see. I'm putting that on your timeline.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like an open invitation, like it's kind of an unsaid open invitation to like that you can post on that. But I also feel like people don't ever read the fucking room.
Yeah.
Like I see on Facebook all the time, like even now with the election, like I've seen people post like women talking about how scared they are about like their rights and being concerned about
these men are off the fucking
and here
chain.
goes this white man from your hometown popping on a random Facebook post saying, well, what rights are you actually losing? Get the fuck out my face,
like this does literally does not apply to you, Bob. Like, please go sit down in the corner. Right, exactly.
Read the room.
Exactly. Now, the reason that I even came up with this episode is because I had something kind of semi-recently, like maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago, that just happened on the internet that I was like, ooh, this is making me fucking heated. And I think it's because it immediately applied to me, right? So I have to give you a little bit of the lore. Remember when I went to California and then I came back?
Yes.
On my flight home, I happened to be on the same flight as James Charles.
Okay.
Was standing next to him when we were at baggage claim. I'm not a huge fan of James Charles. Not that I dislike him, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't follow him. Yeah.
There's a lot of
controversy.
Controversy.
Yes, around James Charles.
There's tension. There's drama there.
Absolutely. But like, I don't fucking even really wear makeup like that. Like, I barely know how to do my fucking foundation. So I am not like big on, oh, let me like watch a James Charles video. But because I was within the same vicinity as him, my For You page got changed.
Oh, shut up.
I swear to God. And now James Charles is all over my For You page on TikTok all the time. And I was scrolling as you do. And then I had this fucking video come up where James Charles is like, they need to make podcast equipment more expensive because everybody and their fucking mom has a podcast now. And we don't give a fuck about what you and your buddy have to say in your mom's basement and blah, 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 blah. You guys are just taking up too much space and like, you need to leave it to the professionals and blah, blah, blah. And like, obviously, of course, I'm pissed like right off the bat because like, fuck you. Like I'm sitting right here, you know, and you're talking to me on my fucking phone screen. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I was just like, podcasting is such a hard space to enter because you don't get discovered through like an explore page or discovery page or anything like that. Like you have to like gain a natural listener by somebody looking you up. Yeah, somebody has to look you up or click on a link or whatever. It's not like a fucking like New Music Friday where they like send you a bunch of songs or whatever that are brand new, top of the charts, whatever. It doesn't happen like that. Like it's hard for podcasts to even gain traction. So like also if I'm not taking up space because I'm not coming up onto your like explore page and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Plus, also, even like Instagram, TikTok, they like kind of block podcasts from like blowing up on their platform.
See, I don't even know about that.
They can tell
on the internet.
They can tell that you're a podcast like super fast. Like they can just see it, I guess. So they kind of like block you from like kind of exploding in that way. And it was so annoying because I'm like, what the fuck am I taking up space for you for?
Right. I feel
I'm
like
literally not taking up any of your space, bro. Like I'm in my own corner of the internet and you're just pissed off that I'm existing.
I feel like that's such an elitist point of view to have. Is like, oh, we get to say because I'm X, Y, and Z on the internet that what you have to say isn't fucking good enough.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Like I was just like, literally, what the fuck was the point of you putting that out?
You have the nichest fucking audience there is on the internet, James Charles.
Yeah.
Like, you make fucking rainbow palettes.
Literally.
And
like,
then tell me again who really actually matters to have their voice expressed.
Right. Like, I just was like, also, if I understand he's probably gotten a lot of internet hate and it's probably been very hard for him with coming up and all that other kind of stuff or whatever. But like, would you want to, you probably didn't want people talking to you like that. So why are you talking to other people like that? And also like, if somebody's just trying to be creative and like express themselves, what the fuck are they bothering you for? Yeah. They're really not. Unless if you're maybe listening to my podcast now and you're hearing me talk shit a little bit because you pissed me off. But like, you know, what the fuck else am I supposed to
tune out if you don't think that what they have to say is valuable?
Right. But also like you just literally don't have to fucking look me up. I'm not going to pop up if you don't look me up.
Right.
So, you know, unless if one of your friends happens to come on here and you happen to click on the link in their fucking bio and see.
And I think like the even more damaging part about that is like there's celebrities and I'm like, do we even call James Charles a celebrity or is he like an influencer? Like
I saw 2 people come up to him at the airport.
Okay, that's another situation. But I mean, I feel like the damaging part of the internet is there's people with such status and power in the social media game, like James Charles, or like whether it be any other influencer that's huge. Like they kind of dictate to other people what is okay and what is not. Yeah. And like, why are we going off of that?
Yeah,
like,
but like
that's
now
so
your
annoying.
whole comment section is like filled with nothing but negativity about people starting podcasts. Like, can you just shut the fuck up? Like, it's literally not bothering you, go ahead and tune into Joe Rogan or call her daddy or whoever the fuck it is that you need to tune into, and don't ever look my shit up then.
And how, like, I think about that and I'm like, how many people heard that and were like, damn, I'm not going to start that podcast.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And like, for me, like, that was when I was in a place of like, fuck, am I even going to be able to keep doing this? Because I don't always have people to talk to and blah, 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 whatever. And it's like hard because I just moved here. So like, I don't have a big network, blah, blah, blah. And then I see that shit.
Right.
Like, I was lucky that I was strong enough to understand that, like, bitch, she's being stupid right now. Like, don't listen to that shit. You know what I mean? Like, but
let's, like, okay, James Charles, maybe you need to take a look at how you came up and like think about your roots and your own story and the work you put in.
Yep.
And maybe reflect on that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. What else pisses you off on the internet?
Oh, should we talk about MLMs?
MLMs?
What is it? I only know it as MLMs. Or something major level, mass level marketing. What is it called? The multi-level marketing, like those fucking pyramid schemes.
Ew.
The amount of times I've had fucking girls from my high school. Hey girl, are you trying to lose weight?
Yeah.
Hey girl, let me tell you about these essential oils. Leave me alone.
Yes, literally.
Do I need to spend money? No. If so, get out of my DMs.
We need like a no soliciting sign. You know how you people put them on there the front door?
Do I need to put that in my bio?
In your fucking bio.
Don't try and sell me shit.
Please, no soliciting. I won't call the cops.
It's always the dumbest shit. Like, what were those like ones that for a while? It was like this thing called Scentsy, and it was like these little like candle melt warmers things like that you would put in your house, like candle warmers, like wax melts, or whatever. There was that one big one. It was essential oils, and that really took off with crunchy moms on the internet for a while.
What?
Essential oils?
That shit's gonna be on my For You page as soon as we finish this podcast
the amount
episode.
of people that I saw that were like, you can replace medicine with essential oils. And I'm like,
okay.
Your kid needs Benadryl. He's having an allergic reaction.
Your kid needs Benadryl. I'm fucking screaming.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no amount of lavender that is going to help that.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. Holy shit.
And like, here's the thing. I can recognize that there is a time and a place for essential oils. I have used essential oils in my home to make it smell good.
Yes.
Do I think there is actually research, evidence-based science that says that it can treat these medical ailments? No, the fuck I do not.
No, girl.
I do not.
I mean, like, I guess if I sniff whatever the fuck it is underneath my nose and I'm having allergies, maybe it'll open me up a little bit. But like, come on, that shit ain't gonna fucking fix me.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit is not gonna fix me.
Like, there was this one I saw, it was like, you like roll it on like your abdomen, like when you're having cramps for your period. I'm like,
I mean, I'll try it, but I'm not gonna.
And I feel like it's that thing. I feel like with stuff like, with all the things that people try and sell in pyramid schemes, it's something where there can be a placebo effect.
Yeah, it's
to get you to keep fucking buying it.
Do you believe that medicine has like a placebo effect?
Sometimes
I do.
Sometimes, yeah,
I do. Depends. I hardly ever. I'm not even a bitch that'll take like Advil. Like, I will just suffer through it because I don't know what it is. Like, number one, I can't swallow pills because I'm a fucking baby. Like, I literally have to crush
I can't
pills.
take liquid medicine.
Oh.
I will yak that shit right up.
Really? Just plug your nose. You'll be all right.
No. I vividly remember my mom trying to give me Dimetap when I was a kid. It was a grape flavored cough suppressant.
First of all, we need to stop with the grape flavored fucking medicine.
Grape.
Not grape flavored medicine.
Grape flavored medicine was
Come
awful.
on. And like, where the fuck do we even get real purple grapes? No. They're red. Why the fuck does everything have to be purple grape flavor? Like, there's no fucking purple
it's red
grape
or green grape.
You're right. So where the fuck is the purple coming from?
I don't know. You lived in California. Is there purple grapes there?
I don't fucking know. I don't drink wine. How would I know that shit? What the fuck? I think that most medicine is like a placebo effect, unless if I'm like in the fucking hospital straight up and like getting medicine from them.
An IV.
Yeah, if you put that shit in my veins, then I'll believe you. But like me just ingesting this thing and swallowing it, like, oh, my headache is naturally fucking supposedly gone now. Like, come
sometimes
on.
I think my anxiety medicine gives me a placebo effect.
Oh,
like sometimes I'm like, oh, am I gonna have an anxiety attack? Then I'll pop like an anxiety pill, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I took my pill. I'm already feeling better, you know? And I'm like, that shit hasn't even hit my bloodstream yet.
Finally, I don't have to throw up anymore.
So yeah, no, actually, because my anxiety is in my belly.
Yes. Yes, literally. Oh my God.
My gosh.
Oh shit. Wait, hang on. What else do you have in your fucking notes?
What else is in my notes? Did we talk about posting? We talked about the internet and the concerts.
Yeah.
We talked about MLMs.
You didn't talk. Wait, you mentioned something to me outside of the podcast that you were saying.
Let's talk about
people posting their kids.
The worst time of year.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking first day of school.
Yes.
The first day of school is agitating.
Yeah.
With that fucking board.
I mean, it's just like, I guess if this is like my close friend, sure, I want to see your kid grow up. But like,
see it.
My close friends don't have kids yet.
And
so I can't relate yet.
Yeah. And I think like, I don't even know how I'm friends with so many moms on social media.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like the people that I work with over time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, my thing is, you're putting everything but your kid's fucking social security number on that damn board.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can take all that information that you put on that board, on that pretty little cute picture on Instagram, and I can go walk into your child's school and I can most likely take them out of school without having any fucking problems.
Because they know everything because the fucking teacher's name is on there.
I know the school.
Yep.
I know the grade.
Yep.
I know what your child looks like, and I know their first and last name.
Talk about fucking predators. Like, that's an easy place for a predator
I think about,
to
like,
just...
for predators, but, like, I think about, like, how many times I, as a social worker, has walked into a school, and I've never been asked for an ID.
That's crazy.
I go into schools every fucking week, and I'm maybe once a week asked for an ID.
That's fucking wild.
And like,
do you ever tell them, like, how have you not asked me for my ID? Have you ever been like, do you need my ID?
I ask, I'm like, yeah, do you need my ID? Like, do you need, and like, sometimes, like, so a lot of schools, you need releases of information to release any information about a student. I need a fucking form signed by this parent saying it's okay to release this information about my kid.
Yeah.
The amount of schools that give out that information without even asking for a release. And I'm like, hey, are you sure you don't want to see my release? Like, this is the protocol you should be following. But like school, like, and as a parent, like, I guess parents don't know, like, and think schools are a safe place. But like, in reality, schools are not that safe of a place. And you as a parent, by putting all that information on the internet, is not protecting your kid.
What's crazy to me is like the parents right now are all like our age and older, generally speaking. They're like in their 20s, like mid 20s, maybe late 20s to 30s, 40s, whatever. We are the generation that like grew up knowing that the internet is forever and that the internet is a dangerous place. We're not Gen Z yet. Like Gen Z is really not having babies like that yet. So like us of all people, how are you not thinking about that shit?
And I think like about the parents that post so much stuff about their kids on the internet. I'm like, your kid didn't give consent to be like put on the internet.
They didn't even give consent to be here in this fucking life to begin with. But like on the internet, like there are so many pictures of me on the internet that I wish my parents would not have posted. Back when Facebook was like a big thing and everybody, whatever. Like, I wish my parents would have kept that shit to themselves and hung it up in our hallway in our fucking house. Because nobody else needs to see that shit. Because
what
I
do respect about some parents on the internet, there's a lot of parents that I do follow that like are very, very careful about what they post about their children on the internet. So like, there's a parent that I follow, and she will post pictures of her son, but she'll put an emoji over his face, like or like a sticker over his face, or she'll post pictures that like his face is turned away.
The turned away face I get, but like the point of like emojis, I'm like, what is the point of the photo? Aside from proving to me that you're a parent.
And I mean,
and that your
if that makes you feel good that like you want to post that experience, then
then fucking go for it.
I
mean, I guess if it's like, okay, we went and took my kid to like fucking Disney World and we're gonna like, oh my God, that's another thing, Disney adults.
Disney adults fucking shoot me.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking
listen.
Shoot me.
I'm not trying to yuck anybody else's yum. If that's what you like, fucking go for it, I guess.
No, you're weird.
But like, I
weird.
don't understand it because I wasn't even a Disney fucking kid.
The first time I went to Disney was an adult.
Oh, interesting.
Was as an adult. The first time I went to Disney World was 3 years ago. I've never seen so many miserable fucking children and parents than I did in Disney World. It is the most miserable place on earth.
That shit is fucking expensive.
Why
are we spending so much money?
12 miles. Then you gotta pose for these fucking pictures in these stupid matching t-shirts with the fucking ears on.
And the people that are working there aren't even in a good mood because they're in that hot ass suit with the big ass.
No.
Yeah. The big
Nothing
ass
happy
Mickey
about
Mouse
Disney
head.
World.
Yeah. No.
I was chafing.
Yeah.
And I had blisters for a week.
Yep.
I fucked up. I wore Birkenstocks to Disney World.
Fuck. That's a mistake.
Up.
Yeah.
But the amount of like pictures I see that I'm like, yeah, this looks so fake. Like did y'all. I know your family did not have a good time.
Oh
and,
my God.
I know your family was miserable. Your kids are a pain in the ass.
I feel like here's another weird like internet thing that I like hate but don't hate at the same time that kind of piggybacks off of that. The public proposals, specifically at Disney. I don't know why.
Or a wedding at Disney.
A wedding?
I've seen weddings.
Motherfuckers pay to have a wedding
in the motherfucking castle.
Shut up.
Like with the fucking horse-drawn carriage thing from Cinderella, like the real fancy one. And
I don't know how much money you fucking got in your bank account.
Why are you that obsessed with Disney?
That's crazy. And like, you think their husbands never have a conversation with them about that shit?
I don't know.
How do you, if you guys have like a Disney adult in your life, how do you navigate that conversation? I'm very curious. I would like to know.
Yeah, honestly, I would be very curious.
I need to have a Disney adult on the podcast.
And do you feel awkward being that hype over Disney around all those kids? Because I felt so out of place.
I agree.
I was like, wow, this is actually just for children.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the rides aren't even like adult rides.
Okay, Epcot was cool.
Okay.
Epcot was decent.
All right, yeah.
Like, I will give it that. There was like some cool plancy shit. There was some cool space shit.
Yeah.
Was it ever worth waiting in line for 3 hours?
Fuck no.
And like the pictures that people post on the internet, like that's the funniest part because they're so like prim, proper, put together, such like a perfect picture.
Yeah.
And then you think of everything that really happens.
Yes.
At Disney World behind that picture.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, there's no way.
There's no fucking way. There's no way. But what I was going to say about the public proposal specifically at Disney, I don't know why, like I don't want to say like I can't be proposed to in public because that's fine. But like it needs to be a private proposal. Yeah. Not in the middle
of like Times Square. Could you imagine?
I would kill myself.
I would say no. You clearly, if you are proposing to me here, you clearly do not know me enough to be married to me.
I'd be like, get up. Get the fuck off. Get off the ground.
Not here.
Get off the ground. What are you doing?
We can walk to the hood. Like, do this in the hood.
Oh
please.
My God. Like, even restaurants. I don't know how I would feel about that. I can't. I can't.
No.
I mean, I might be a little bit psychotic because, like, I've had the conversation with Josh multiple times about how I would want to be proposed to. Not like, here's the plan, but like, here's what I would hope would happen.
Right.
You know? And it might sound psychotic for men specifically that are probably like, why the fuck are you telling him what you want when you don't even know if you're going to get proposed to or not?
Right.
But like, I need to be proposed to like in the morning and it needs to be private. So that then we can go to lunch or get coffee or whatever, and you can give me the whole breakdown of how you plan that shit or whatever, and give me the rundown. And then later in the day, I would love to have family friends come over to the house as like the party or whatever, so that then we can all get all the shit out of the way. And then you can be like, you don't even have to tell anybody because they're already going to be at the house later. And I'll be like, sick. Now I don't have to like figure out, I have to communicate. I didn't tell this person. I didn't tell that person. I have to post it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I've never thought about any of that.
Yeah, that's the way I want it to go. I want it to happen in the morning, general morning. Then we can go to lunch. I can get the debrief, and then later we can have people over, so I don't have to text everybody.
Like you do have it planned to it too.
Kind of, but like I'm not telling him where I want it to happen, what the color, the ring, what material, all that shit. Like I'm not into that part, but like this is how I think it should go.
Right.
But like I cannot imagine like literally just him jumping down on like one fucking knee in the middle of all these other fucking people.
That would be horrifying.
Oh my God.
Let's take that into a talk about like wedding posting on the internet.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I feel like so much of the time I see so many women do so much on the internet around their wedding for like pictures for like engagements, pictures for like wedding, like there's so many times where you need to take pictures and do these things and post these things, and like, is the dude really down with all this, or is he just along for the fucking ride?
I'm not looking forward to even back on getting like proposed to and married and all that shit. The one thing that I will be dreading when I am planning my wedding is how long it's going to take all the fucking pictures, because my eye starts twitching so fast when I have to be in front of a camera smiling for so long. Ugh, God, it makes me want to die.
And like, some of those pictures, like I like the ones that look super candid. Like
you
can
like
tell, like
photos
some
too,
photos, I'm like, this looks so forced, so posed, like so editorial. Like this is not editorial. Them. Like when I think of like any like engagement or wedding pictures or wedding anything like about Alex, and I just think like, how could we make it as authentic to who we are as possible? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we are such laid back, like go with the flow, like low key people that
Very
like,
true.
I don't know how much of that would be for us.
I know, right?
But then I also think about it, and I feel like being the age that we are, and like seeing so many people getting married on the internet, also makes you like think about that kind of shit more often.
It does.
And I
Even
don't
if you're not a girl that's like, oh my God, I have to get married one day in like a castle. Like,
I've never once been a person that's like, I need to get married. But like, there's no lie. I see all this shit on the internet, and I'm like, I kind of get like FOMO. I'm like, I want to be part of this shit.
You're
like,
right. Yeah.
This looks like so much fun. And it makes me think about like what I would do.
Yes. Like, I could see you guys eloping in like the mountains. That would make a lot of sense to me. Like, I don't know why, like, in my brain. I don't ever
think about it.
That's like, if you asked me, like, Brie, did you ever have a dream about me and Alex getting married? That's what it would be.
Yeah.
For me. Speaking of Alex, we really need to get him on the fucking podcast one of these days. Oh my God. I want you guys to meet Alex so bad.
That's my boyfriend.
Yes, that's Casey's boyfriend. We've been talking about possibly getting him in here, but we didn't want to do it today because I was just like, it's like,
we got to slow roll him into this.
Yeah, we got to work our way in. So we'll figure that out. What else is on your list? I'm curious.
On my list, should we let's get a little serious because I have a few serious points.
Okay, let's go.
Performative allyship on the internet.
Ooh, yeah.
And like, I have a specific like thought of like a big trend of performative allyship.
Okay, what is it?
Do you remember in 2020 the black box trend?
With like Black Lives Matter?
Lives Matter. The amount of people that posted that fucking black box
I didn't even fucking do that shit, and I'm black. I didn't even do that shit.
That's how I feel like it was performative. Like, you posted that black box and then did what?
Right. Nothing.
And then had what conversation?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because there were so many people that posted that shit. I'm like, I know you are racist as fuck.
Yep.
Like, this is so fake. I know you.
Yep. Because then when you don't, then people are looking at you. Or when you post something else, then people are looking at you.
Right.
Yeah. I think inauthenticity is really hard.
Inauthenticity, and like, especially with performative allyship, like around like hot topics about like racial justice and gender rights and women's rights. Like, people, I think a lot of the time just repost what they see on the internet without actually reading it.
True.
And forming an opinion of their own, and are just like, I'll post this to be on the right side of the internet.
Yeah, because people are so worried about getting flamed. Yes.
And like, I think like with this like election specifically, like the amount of like horrible behavior and performative allyship I saw on the internet of like people that felt the need to say, oh, well, it's okay to disagree with people like about an election. Just say you voted for the bad man.
Yeah. Just say it. Just say it.
Just say it. Just say you voted against people's best interests.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, it's very true. And I saw a whole video recently. I'm going to have to send it to you that like somebody was talking about like, I guess, why they think some people actually voted for Trump instead of Kamala, even if they were looking like they were supportive of Kamala on the internet. And they were just like, they're literally doing it from like an economic standpoint, and being able to like feel the way that you do about politics due to like human rights is a privilege. And I was like,
It is a privilege to be able to ignore human rights in an election. Right. It is an absolute privilege.
Yeah, they were like, they're just thinking about their grocery prices and their gas prices, and they're just going to vote for whoever's going to make them go down, and that's it.
And I was like, I read a point about that was super interesting, and it said, you know, people that fall along the lines of the Republican Party or along conservative lines usually tend to vote on an individualistic like stance. Like, they're voting for what works best for them.
I think that's the point that guy was trying to make. Yeah.
Where a lot of the bases of the Democratic Party, you're voting for people that you will never fucking meet. You're voting for people that will be impacted that may be in a different part of the country. You're thinking about the overall community. You're thinking about someone bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, with this election specifically, there is nothing in the tri-state area where we are here that either president would have done that would have affected our day-to-day lives. Nothing.
Yep.
You know what? But in other parts of the country, like where my sister-in-law and my niece live, their lives are very much impacted by what's happening.
Absolutely fucking true. Absolutely fucking true. Jumping back to like the internet thing, but also still talking about Donald Trump and Kamala Harris without getting super political. something, I was listening to a podcast this morning that they called this the podcast election. Did you hear that shit?
I didn't.
They're calling it like the podcast election. And I think that it's because the internet has had such a big like hand in how this election went, oddly enough, which is like fucking crazy to even think about now. But what I learned was that Donald Trump supposedly went on like 17 different podcasts versus Kamala Harris went on like 4 to 5 different podcasts. And they were like, the two guys that I was listening to, Colin and Shamir, they were saying that they think that Donald Trump actually ended up having a larger sense of relatability and like got brought down to like more of like a human level because we had so much content accessible. Right. So people felt like they got to know him more than Kamala Harris, where she had like 4 hours worth of content on YouTube if you combine all the podcasts that she went on, versus him. He had 17 fucking hours of content,
which is a lot. And I think
a lot.
You can get a really good sense of people from the podcast.
Yes.
Where that might have worked out in Donald Trump's favor.
It may have.
And I think that might have been a tactic that his campaign has used, where I feel like Kamala Harris's tactic with social media on that campaign was let's get as many celebrities as possible to start talking about this woman and encouraging people to vote about this woman. Let's bring all of these celebrities that are trending on the internet to her rallies. Yeah. And I feel like that really it made it an ugly fucking election.
It made it hard,
Why are we having our political process be based on celebrities that are pandering for votes?
Yeah, and I think that like I even saw when going back to what I said in the beginning of the podcast where I follow Billie Eilish stories or whatever, she did like a huge like in Atlanta, she was like talking about like, you guys need to vote for Kamala Harris because, you know, if you stand with me, then you stand with her, like in a sense.
Right.
She's always been very political, Billie meaning. And I felt like she was genuine. You know what I mean? Like I felt like she was genuine.
If you're genuine about it, that's one thing. But to use celebrities as a vehicle to get yourself votes, I think is weaponizing social media. Because how many people did we see say after Taylor Swift posted a video that she was going to vote for Kamala Harris, say, oh, I'm voting for Kamala. Like, do you know what this woman is about?
Yes. Yeah. Are you doing any kind of listening, research? Do you even like know if you morally align with this person?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I
think
that's
like... Do you know
like,
her track record? Do you know the policies that she's standing for?
And even if you don't, like, do you just align with her morally in the things that she's talking about doing versus the other candidate talk about doing?
And what has she done about those moral things?
Right. Exactly.
Because while I think that, like... And I think the internet plays a huge role into this about, like, talking about these big talking points around elections. And we talk about all the things are at stake. Yeah. But not what can actually be done. It's just used as a trigger to be fear mongering.
Yup.
Like, and I hate to say, like, sound like that. Like, so much of our internet is fear mongering.
Yup.
Like, if you actually read into what is going on, like, it sounds fucking awful what's happening in the world right now.
It's so true, yeah.
But there's a path forward.
Yeah. Yep. I think generally speaking, the internet is very like, it's a very scary place. And I think we forget about that a lot of the times. And I think that like a good example of that is even hearing like the way that people speak on this podcast or on podcasts specifically. Yeah. Like they're always like, no, I'm not saying this. Like, I'm not saying this in this way. I'm saying this in this way. And I think that like, if we were just like, not worried about everything ending up on the internet and being taken the wrong way, I don't think we would overly correct ourselves to be politically correct and make sure that we're saying the right thing and it's not going to get chopped and edited the wrong way.
And I also think like we take the internet too seriously, which is one thing that I hate. Like, I'm here for a good jokey joke.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, and I think there's certain apps that are good for that. Like when I clock into Twitter, I better not see a single motherfucker taking that shit seriously.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm here for the laughs and the laughs only. Whereas like Facebook, we got to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, you know what I mean? We got family and coworkers on that bitch.
Yes,
like, we can't get too crazy. And then Instagram, I'm just like, I'm shit posting whatever I want.
Like, you know what app I like actually kind of low key hate that I hate to admit?
What?
You're never going to guess it. Pinterest.
I have a love-hate relationship
with Pinterest. So do I. I have a very weird like love-hate relationship with Pinterest. For some reason, like Pinterest, I don't know what it is about Pinterest that like I think it's like the searching ability of Pinterest. And like the problem is like I search one thing on Pinterest and then that's all I fucking see
all
after
that shows up.
Yeah.
The algorithms literally are the worst thing about the internet in general.
God,
but my biggest thing about Pinterest is that I will search something because I want like inspo. Like I remember I was like making a mood board. So like I went to Pinterest and like typed in a bunch of different like styles and wanted things to come up.
Yeah.
But anything that came up was just things that I could buy.
Yes.
It was just ads. And
yeah. I'm here for the DIY shit.
I want the regular put a picture that I can see.
The aesthetic little pictures. Yeah,
I don't, and it takes you to a fucking article that you got to scroll through.
Yeah, and then you got to find it. It's so fucking annoying.
It's a bunch of filler.
Yeah. What else do you have on your list? I'm curious. Your list is long. I like literally only had a couple things.
Let's see. This is another we can talk about. I have like 2 other points.
Okay.
I have a few. When people exploit like homeless people on the internet, like people that take pictures and videos of the homeless, or specifically people that record themselves like feeding the homeless.
I was just gonna ask how you felt about that.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
You don't get a gold sticker for performative allyship.
Damn right. Yep. There you go.
Do good in silence because it feels good to do good.
Yep. You know, we actually brought this point up in next week's podcast, which I know obviously the rest of you have not heard yet, but we actually did bring this point up. And like Ryan made a point, spoiler alert, he's going to be on next week's episode. He made a point where he just said like, it's good because it's spreading a little bit of positivity and maybe encouraging some people to do the same. Obviously not everybody's going to make a fucking video doing it, but like, I don't know. I would not think about doing that if I was going to do that.
I think about the space that I'm working in every week where we go out and we do outreach in Kensington and we take a video for our social media every week. But it's a specific video of our volunteers and only the goods that we are giving out. There is never a single face of any of the participants that we are serving in that video.
Right. So you're not getting anything from it. Yeah, that makes sense.
There's so many pages of people that are showing themselves giving food out to people in Kensington, highlighting people overdosing on the street, just like filming people in really, really, really awful states. And like, this is someone's fucking kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one wants to go on YouTube and see a video of their kid unresponsive on the fucking street.
Yeah.
Or see their kid with wounds all over their body. See their kid unbathed. It may look like a completely different kid that they last seen.
Yeah.
What are like, you can do good without having to fucking film it.
You know what else actually that reminds me of? I don't know why this just popped up in my brain. Another thing that I fucking hate on the internet is seeing like car crashes and like people getting hurt.
Yeah. Why did you feel the need to stop and film that?
I don't understand. You know, my best friend's passing is on the internet.
What?
Yes, it's on the internet. Like the car on fire crashed is on the internet.
That's really awful.
Yeah. And like that video was fucking sent to me. Right. Like, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that video was sent to me within, like, 2-3 days.
Well, and I think about that, like, examples with people that are, like, living on the street. Like, I know people from my hometown that have gotten videos sent to them of their kid who's out in Kensington. Like, you know what I mean? How fucking shattering must that be?
Oh, my God. That's
and
gotta
I think
be horrible.
That anyone taking video, like, there was an Instagram page for a while called Kensington Beach. And it was literally just a video making fun of people with substance use disorder that were living in Kensington. And you can't tell me that you're trying to bring awareness to something by just exploiting what is happening.
Right.
Without doing anything to help the situation.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think people do that on the internet so much to feel like, yes, it is a gratifying feeling to do something for others.
Yeah.
You don't need to document it.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what else?
It's disparaging.
I think we just need to stop like attacking people for like whatever the fuck it is that they're doing and they're just existing.
Yeah.
Like I heard recently one of my friends that is kind of an influencer or whatever. She was like, people were like filming me, filming myself when I was like in a park, like making content for a brand. She's like, and I went like so far back, like in the corner behind a tree so that it wasn't like bothering anybody. And like, I always get self-conscious that other people don't want to be on video when I'm in a public space and blah, 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 whatever. She's like, and people were like filming me, filming myself. Like, and she's like, it's just like, you know, I'm going to end up on fucking influencers in the wild. And I'm like, that shit sucks. Like people are just trying to do what they're doing, live their life, do whatever it is that they're trying to do. Like just fucking leave them alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
think this might be a controversial opinion for you, but I low-key get annoyed about the amount of people that are trying to become influencers on the internet. The way that it saturates my feed, and like you can so tell when like someone's in that developing phase of like trying to become an influencer. And I'm like, you're marketing yourself. This is so unauthentic.
Yeah,
like,
I think that it really depends on the person, because I do think that everybody has something that they can offer to the world, but the problem is like, what are you offering to the world that is making you feel the need to want to have a bigger platform to do something with that platform? Like, what are you going to do with it?
And like, that's important. Like, is it that, or is it people thinking, damn, we're in a time and place socially and economically where it is the easiest route for me to make money to try and do it off the internet.
It is the easiest route for them to try to do something on the internet and just make money. And like, nothing's wrong with passive income, but like also it's a lot of fucking work.
It's a lot of work. And does that take away from your authenticity? Like, are you then trying to play the role of something to fit on social media?
Yeah.
Because like, I guess from my perspective, like, I don't ever think about what I put on social media in the sense of like making something aesthetic. Like, I don't we had that conversation where I was like, I don't ever think about the way my feed looks. That's the last thing. I don't color coordinate. I don't think about how many things I'm posting, where I'm posting them. I just shit post. You know what I mean? Like, there's not that many people that fucking follow me on social media. Like, so I don't think about that. So when I see things that seem so curated and so marketed and so like planned when you're supposed to be a lifestyle influencer, I'm like, this isn't your life. Like, you know what I mean? This is not your life.
Yes, exactly.
There's these two pages that I follow, and it's these girls that live in Hawaii, and they are lifestyle influencers now. And when I lived in Hawaii, I saw them a few times, and like, they were super genuine. Like, and that was when they were like growing their pages, and it was like they were just trying to figure out making income from social media. But like, now you can tell like, this is just a business. This isn't about your life anymore. And like, it just gives me the ick a little bit. Like, I don't enjoy seeing that content. Like, my favorite posts that I love seeing on social media are my friends' dumps of what they've been up to for the last month. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's a weird, like, interesting space, because like, you never know what somebody does have to offer to the world when you're seeing them being an influencer out in the wild, like out in the real world and all that kind of stuff. You don't see that shit, but like, also, I don't know. I mean, it just depends on what people are doing with their platform. And like, I think that that's kind of where I landed with myself with helmet hair. Like, I was just kind of like, the fuck am I really doing here? And like, not like automotive stuff isn't important, but like, I was just like, I don't like that this has only become about that. And every time that I do anything else, it doesn't perform well, or it, you know, kind of eats away at me, or like whatever, and like, this is the only thing that people want to see from me. I don't like that shit, because I have a lot more to offer than just that. Doesn't mean that I'll never do that again, because I do still make videos where I work on my car, I do this or I do that or whatever, or like I go to automotive events and stuff, but like, it's not the top tier most important thing that I can offer to the world. I'm a stunt driver, that's my fucking profession, and like, that's my way of life and what I do for a living, but like, I just do more than that, which is why I restarted and why I started over. Like, you know, and some people, I think if they saw me from an outside perspective, they're like, okay, another fucking girl with a podcast. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, I'm trying to make a safe space on the internet. And like, I'm trying to make it, you know, a little comforting area for people to get a little bit of a fucking break from this bullshit that we're seeing every single day.
And that's translatable to the real world. I think like, you do things on the other end, like in the real world sense, that shows your purpose. Like, I think what I'm saying is more so in the sense of like, people doing things on the internet and then it not translating into the real world. Because like, I think about it, like, sure, I could build a platform around social work. What would that mean if I weren't doing anything outside of it to move those things forward? You know? Like,
exactly.
I think like, the way that people are influencing on the internet sets an unhealthy expectation sometimes for people that are just regular people. Like,
I hate when bitches are just trying to be pretty online and get a following.
Setting the
like,
expectation that things need to be aesthetic all the time. Is infuriating. Your fucking fridge doesn't need to be color coordinated and
you don't need the acrylic boxes.
You don't need the acrylic boxes in your fridge. You don't need all the acrylic boxes in your drawers.
I agree.
It's okay if you have a drunk drawer. That's totally fine.
Yes, totally normal. I agree.
Like, it's okay if the cabinet under your sink in your bathroom is a mess of fucking cleaning products. That's reality.
Yes, it is.
It does not need, and like, sure, it's soothing sometimes for me to watch videos of people organizing their
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I know on the other end, like, my house is never going to look like that. My house looks lived in.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
My fucking closet looks lived in. It's never going, like, to look like that.
Yeah.
And I think so many people then strive to make their life match what they see look like on the internet. And then you lose yourself.
Exactly. That's exactly what the fuck this is about.
You lose yourself.
That's exactly what the fuck this is about.
Just fucking be weird. Like, that's fine.
Yep.
That's it. I feel like that's it.
That's it. Did you have anything else on your list?
Let's see.
Actually, wait, no, I have one really quick.
Yes.
So you're on TikTok. Do you ever see those fucking stupid ass TikToks where, like, you know, you can stitch a video and have two videos side by side? Why the fuck am I watching somebody crochet and watching somebody else tell a story?
Oh my God.
Fuck off.
So the reason people are doing that is because the younger populations are showing that they're maintaining their attention longer on certain content if there is also simultaneous content being streamed to them.
Our ADHD is getting that bad.
So a lot of kids in school are learning from split screens where their content will be on one side of the screen and it'll be random videos on the other. Because think about how many kids are fucking tablet kids that from the time they were babies, where anytime you're talking to them, they're talking to you while they're looking at a tablet. They're eating their food while they're looking at a tablet. They're only going to be able to learn while looking at these fucking videos.
Ew.
And it's showing that kids are retaining their attention and retaining the information better in that format.
I don't like that shit because to me, the way that I think of it is I think of like a content creator that's like on one side, right? Like there's this one girl, I think her name is like Siri or something that I watch on TikTok, and she's like a hairdresser and she like tells stories, like hairdresser stories or whatever. And she like will like, I'll see a video of hers next to like somebody doing pottery or something. And like the way that I've always thought about it is like this person that's like doing pottery is like stealing this person's content, not actually responding to it. They're just utilizing it so that their thing gets more views, and then ultimately they're getting paid, but they're not even splitting their share with the fucking original content creator.
From that point of view.
See what I'm saying?
I did not.
That's why we're fucking good. That's why we're good together.
Because I don't think about like monetization behind anything on social media.
Yep, I do.
It's there. Like I don't think about the behind the scenes anything.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're like stealing their content. And like, yes, they have the stitch feature on, like, because you can turn it off so that people can't like stitch your reel with theirs or whatever. But like, I'm just like, you're not even responding. The point is so that somebody else can like take their video and stitch it to respond and have their own whatever, and then it starts a conversation. Not for you to fucking crochet next to her.
Not
you know
for you to like create a it just like creates like a distraction.
Like what the
But
fuck?
like for these younger kids, it's working. For me, I would not be able to pay attention.
I can't
pay attention to two different videos.
No, I'm just watching her the whole time, and I'm just seeing a different version of her on a smaller little thing now. And that's it.
Also on TikTok, you know what I hate? When I'm scrolling on my random For You page and a story comes up and it's a part story when it's parted out into several videos.
Oh my God.
And then I need to go scrolling and searching to look for the other videos and line it up to make it like in the storyline.
I fucking hate that. The other thing that I hate is, have you seen like where they put like snippets of movies? They like,
I get so sucked into that.
So do I.
So sucked in. I'm like,
so
I don't need to watch the movie anymore. Like, I'll figure out how to watch it from front to back.
On TikTok.
It's
fucking so annoying.
Why don't I just go stream the movie?
Right. At that point, like, just tell me the name of the fucking movie and I'll watch it myself.
One other point that I have about the internet. Because this, I think, goes back to the conversation we were having about politics.
Okay.
Knowing how to find good sources of information on the internet.
Oh, that part.
Nothing makes me more heated on the internet than seeing some people post their shit and this information that they got is like linked, like their source is Facebook.
Yes.
If your source is Facebook or something that you saw reposted on Facebook, that is not credible information.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we are at a point in time where we all forgot what we learned in middle school and doing research of how to pick credible sources.
Yeah.
And like, I think it also goes to talk about like how our news sources now are not credible sources.
You know what's so funny is Josh and I were just having this conversation recently. Like I was like people are like, especially with like politics, they're like, do your research. And I'm like, where the fuck are you supposed to get this information
from? You truly have to do your research.
You have to fucking dig.
You have to dig deeper than just one Google search.
Yes,
like,
you do.
Google Scholar is there for a reason. And so many people don't know that. Like you can find actually published research on things very accessible to you on the internet. And like that's why I get myself in those holes on social media where like I will start fact checking motherfuckers because I'm like, you're not going to start talking about some shit that I'm actually learning about.
Are you a Facebook war girly?
Yes, I am. Oh, I go in. And here's the thing. I argue with family on Facebook.
Oh, shit.
Me and my uncle I went in on my uncle not too long ago on
Really?
Facebook. Let me fucking find it. And it was hilarious because I said what I said, and then all of my cousins simultaneously texted me and were like, no, you did not. I was like, no shit. Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
So I posted, I love to get a little controversial on Facebook every once in a while. I'm good for that. I will post my 2 cents in a very sarcastic manner.
Yes.
And then I will just let people comment and then I will sound off.
Yep.
So I made a post. I said, as a felon, you cannot vote, but you can run for president. Makes sense. May 30th.
Yep.
My uncle commented and said, as an illegal alien, you don't pay taxes, but you can vote. Now I'm coming for you because that's incorrect.
It is incorrect.
And he said, and I replied, I said, the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigration Responsibility Act of 1996 made it federally illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections.
Yeah.
He said, you so sure of that? It sounds good on paper. So what did my bitch ass do? I went and found the published bill on Congress's website.
Go fuck off.
And I screenshotted it from Congress, the actual bill that has been signed.
Yes.
And I said from Congress and the House of Representatives themselves, the actual bill stating that was signed into law that it is illegal to vote if you are not a citizen. And then people sounded off saying, like, confirming what I said was right.
Yeah.
And he found a screenshot. And it was from an Instagram page, and you can see the little like and comment bubbles on the screenshot to know that it was from an Instagram story.
Uncle, come on.
And it's from a website called Judicial Watch, which is like a clickbait, radical right wing fucking news source. And it was a fake doctored picture of a non-citizen voter registration application. So I said, great source. Even better when it's taken off of Instagram.
No, you did not.
Said, I did a deep dive. I have not been able to find this application on any government website that I've gone on to.
Girl.
It is not accessible anywhere on the internet except this Instagram post. Where did you get your information?
I'm fucking screaming.
And then they said pulling an Instagram reel as evidence against the Congress itself is something.
Yes.
And I will just end it at that because that is the biggest point of do your research.
Yes.
Because I can guarantee you there's case law on it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Don't come for me.
Don't come for Casey. Don't come for Casey. Oh my God, that's fucking wild. Holy shit. Is your list up? Is that all?
Yeah, I think that's all the big points. I mean, the internet's generally an agitating space.
The internet is so agitating. It's the fucking worst and it's the best. And I'm glad that we have it, but I also fucking hate that we have it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. But
in
like
moderation.
if they shut it off tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, cool. Yeah.
I'd be all right.
Yeah.
It would be a little less. I mean, I would miss Twitter.
Yeah. Okay.
I would miss Twitter a lot.
That makes sense. I hardly ever get on Twitter. I
don't post anything on Twitter. I never do. Laughs.
I never get on Twitter. Ryan's a big Twitter guy, but I can't do it.
Let's see. What's the last thing? I bet you it was fucking heinous.
Are you on Threads?
No.
Maybe that's why I hate Twitter, because I think of Threads as Twitter, but it's not.
No, I don't even know.
Twitter's not even Twitter anymore, though. It's X now.
See, the last thing I liked on Twitter is in fact heinous. My uncle hid my weed, so I hid his wheelchair. Ain't nobody rolling shit around here today.
Oh, fuck.
This is what I'm here for on the internet.
I feel like I need to roll the outro music. That was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's a wrap.
God, that is a fucking wrap. Oh, shit. Casey, thanks for coming on URL versus IRL. You're the best. I love you so much.
I love you. Until next time, my friend.
All right, guys, we're signing off here. Let's roll the outro music.
Are you fucking kidding me? No way. All right, talk to you soon on the next URL versus IRL.